to the pandemic, the entire world has been forced to switch to an online workspace at home, which has made it way harder to be productive. While at work or at school, it's a dedicated workspace that stimulates your brain to be productive. However, at home, there are endless distractions that makes it hard to be productive. So I have 6 tips on how you can overcome that slump and be productive at home. The first tip I have is to set a specific study or workspace at home. Since you have been deprived of a workspace due to the pandemic, you need to dedicate a space in your house just to working. So, for example, I have an office which is secluded from any distractions that I just work in there. You can have your bedroom, you can maybe have a desk there where you can just work. It can be anywhere, but as long as you're just doing nothing but work in that study space, your mind will automatically switch to a more productive headspace once you enter that environment. The second tip I have is to know what time of day you're most productive and work accordingly. For example, I personally work best first thing in the morning because that's when my mind is the freshest. Also, I work best last thing at night because, especially before I go to sleep, that's when my mind is most creative. However, I typically have an afternoon slump, so I plan my work around when I'm most productive. For example, in the morning and night, I'll put my hardest tasks of the day. Whereas in the afternoon, I'll do tasks that don't require much brain power, such as answering emails or exercising. I would recommend journaling for a week and analyze how productive you feel throughout the day to get a better sense of when you are most and least productive. The third tip I have is to use the Pomodoro Method for studying. If you don't already know what the Pomodoro Method is, it's basically where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. And you keep going through the cycle. So after 4 cycles, you take a longer break, which can be from 15 to 20 minutes. This way, instead of working for 3 hours straight and then getting burnt out, you constantly are refreshing your brain so that you can ensure that you are constantly working with full brain power. Personally, I feel that I'm not able to get into a deep work headspace when I only work for 25 minutes, and I feel that 5 minutes is often too short of a break, so I personally work for 50 minutes with a 10-minute break. This has helped me exponentially during quarantine and has allowed me to become extremely productive. However, if you're just starting and really don't feel like working for 25 minutes really helps you get out of your slump. The fourth tip I have is to eliminate your phone and potential distractions from your workspace. Although you may not notice this, having distractions such as your phone in your workspace distracts your brain as you're constantly looking at text messages, social media, etc., which can derail your motivation and focus for working. Thus, the best thing to do is to eliminate distractions from your workspace since you have no other choice but to work when you enter that workspace. The fifth tip I have is to reward yourself for studying. I cannot stress this enough, but incentivizing yourself increases your motivation to work. Whether that be eating a piece of chocolate after a 2-hour study session or getting a social media break after 3 hours of studying, etc., it allows you to have a goal for a study session and allows you to go through work sessions faster without losing motivation. This is a practice that I always use because I feel like having a goal at the end of the work session makes me look forward for studying instead of dreading it. For example, I have 50-minute Pomodoro sessions. So let's say after 2 Pomodoro sessions, I typically have a 15-minute YouTube break or a social media break where I can just browse on my phone and just have a quick rest. So anything like this, you can have it depending on what you like, but this really helps to keep that motivation for studying. The last tip I have is to stay healthy and exercise. Although you might think that staying healthy has no correlation to studying, it really does make an impact. During quarantine, I didn't exercise as much since I didn't have access to gyms, which surprisingly ruined my motivation to study as well. However, by exercising, eating healthy, and getting an adequate amount of sleep, I felt more productive and happy with myself, which correlated well with my success and motivation in my work. Thus, I would highly recommend to become healthier, as that would motivate you so much more to work. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this helped you, like the video and subscribe for more content. Leave your comments down below if you have any questions or any ideas as to what videos we should make, and we'll see you guys in the next video.